You're the woman I love. Took my best friend. Some joker got lucky. Stole her back again. You better come on in my kitchen, 'cause it's bound to be raining outdoors. Yeah, now she's gone. No, she won't come back. I've taken the last nickel. Rumination say, you better come on in my kitchen, 'cause it's bound to be raining outdoors. Yeah, can you hear the rain falling? You better come on in my kitchen, 'cause it's bound to be raining outdoors. When a woman gets in trouble, everybody throws her down, looking for her good friend who can't be found. You better come on in my kitchen, 'cause it's bound to be raining outdoors. Now when the time's coming, you gotta go. Can't make the winter, babe. Just drive on slow. You better come on in my kitchen, 'cause it's bound to be raining outdoors. You better come on in my kitchen, 'cause it's bound to be raining outdoors.
Hi folks, this is what's waiting for us today. This is the schedule, and the guitar backup as usual. Lick of the week is going to be very special. Then a slide playing challenge is going to be both about choosing the right slide, and I'm going to play a song that's going to be challenging because I've never played that song in open tuning, either in D or G. So cool. Thanks for stopping by. LG, Lars-Göran Magdic. If we speak with you in English, so it's a hi LG. That sounds good, but it sounds like a computer monitor. Nah, we'll keep it to Lars-Göran. Thanks for coming. I think this would be your first time. So, what's on the schedule today? Before we start, I just want to make a special announcement for the next week's stream, and I'll be showing you some stuff prior to that, somewhere in the middle of this evening stream, because John Miller, a fantastic guitar player and my good friend, is going to join me next week on this live stream. We're going to be talking guitars, teaching methods, we're going to be talking about his career and everything, because he's been around since, I don't know, late 70s or something, so it's, no, mid 70s, yeah. Anyway, today's licks are going to be shown in mostly open D. A part of it is going to be in open G, but the blues backup and some other stuff, and the welcome song is going to be in standard tuning. So let's move on to that. All right, let's just say hi to some more folks that joined us here. Hi, Patrick. Nice to see you again. And I'm going to play you a song. If you've seen the YouTube thumbnail that I've sent with this live stream promo, it's showing I Shall Not Be Moved, old recording from the 30s. So I Shall Not Be Moved is going to be the song that's going to follow us through the live stream, because I'm going to be showing that now as just in standard tuning. This is also a challenge because I actually haven't played this for ages. I don't remember when it was the last time we jammed over this song in different, whatever context I end up with. But I'm going to be doing a short welcome song, playing it in the standard tuning, and then it's going to be the challenge for me to play it in open tuning with slide. So I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. I shall not be moved. In my hour of glory, I shall not be moved. In my hour of glory, I shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. I shall not be moved. Yeah, boy. All my loving berries, I shall not be moved. In my alder berries, I shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. And I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. I shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. I shall not be moved. Yeah, I've been jamming with myself because I haven't played this for ages. But I thought, like, when would I try this out if not in a live stream? It's public, of course, but I'm not sure I'd be playing this on a festival stage when people pay their tickets to watch me. I think I'll be going through some practicing about this. But there are some great harmonies here that I picked up from many people, and sometimes I listen to piano players, for example, and not guitar players so much. Sometimes I listen to singers, and later on when I'm about to play the challenge with Open D with this, I'm going to be playing you some music examples of this, like 3 different versions of I Shall Not Be Moved, that all kind of came into this, because there's this great progression from just like a tree that's planted by this diminished chord, water, which comes to this C sharp minor 7. But then I always hear this, especially when the piano players do it, they got this So I thought I'd go, that sounded nice. And then I go back to E. And then. And this. It's one of the licks that I picked up from, I think, a fellow guitar player, Jeff Muldaur. He's got some of these great intros and some grips, especially in E chord or whatever. Always give the props to your, and shout outs to your peers who are great musicians. So that's what inspired me to do the chord shapes here. And also this, so this is a shape of the E chord up on the 12th fret as an E, and then just and then there was this lick. So, this is nice. So I just fret the 6th fret on the 3rd string, and then play open 2nd and the 1st string, and I'm already down there on the E, and so on. Okay, let's not get caught in this kind of explanation, right? The thing with today's stream is that we should be starting with playing together. So if you have your guitar at hand, so let's just do it. Do the first backup session. It's going to be a slow blues in E, right? And at this point, I'm not going to be explaining what I'm doing afterwards, because I've done it in my previous live streams. So you can just go back to one of those, and it's chapter marked, so you can see exactly where I play the backups, and then it says chapter explanation of the licks played in the backup. Good. So let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm telling it, well done. I don't hear you, but I guess you're playing along. So we're going to do another one in the key of A this time. All right. All right, now your job is done. I'm going to continue with showing you some more stuff. When it comes to this, it's going to be the lick of the week. When I'm going to be using my Resophonic guitar. So the open D, here are the strings from left to right. It's from the basses to the treble strings. So that's what you need to do. And I hope you're fine with that. And the main thing to do here is actually to when we talk about turnarounds, it's usually that we could play like and then we go back to shuffle or slow blues or whatever we play. There's this other type of turnaround in open D, like I got rambling, and so on, right? So there's a, let's say, we did this intro to Rambling on My Mind by Robert Johnson on one of the earlier live streams. So, but he would go back to, and then start singing. So all those turnarounds are great, but sometimes I choose to play a kind of slide melody or a lick or something in between the verses, and then instead of playing the or anything else like that, I choose to play like a and then go on. So let's say this lick would be like a, or any combination of melodies that are here on the first 4 or 5 frets, right? Because they're close. I'm close to the bass that I'm going to be. If I'm going back to the A chord, because we're in D. So let's say if I finish the okay, let me just try to do one thing. Just lower my table a little bit because this guitar is hanging a bit lower down so you can see everything. So some other melodies here. This is nice. This is nice. Or we could also use the chord here, the chord A on the 7th fret would slide. And then go on. Other example of the melody like here could be so what you need to do here is to dampen the first string and whatever other string you don't want to be around here when you play this note. So I dampen that by my middle finger here on my picking hand, and then I pick the note on the 2nd string. And there's also this damping with my fretting hand, so my index finger is lightly touching the G string here. So there is this damps, and this is dampened, so only note here on the 5th fret is heard. So and there's this this is a nice kind of solution for arrangements where maybe you don't want to give the big bass into the playing yet. Maybe you just want to, and then so you wait with the big bass to just push it in. And now I have both the big bass and the 4th string. This can also be a turnaround. And so on. So this is just a brief moment of doing something else than the chord or the turnaround licks that we're all so used to. And I hope you'll be getting back to this and just watching the replay. Maybe play along and maybe just steal it. Just do it. Doesn't matter. All right, how's everybody doing? I thought so, because 2 live streams ago, I forgot to celebrate the 10th. It was like I wrote a note to myself like, okay, next time when you go on live, just say to people, it's the 10th live stream, like a jubilee. Let's celebrate. I forgot. And then I did the 11th, and I thought, okay, let's tell them now that the previous time was the 10th. I forgot that as well. So today is the 13th live stream. I had a big note to myself. Tell them it was the 10th 2 weeks ago. So anyway, actually, this is just, I'm telling you this because I never thought I'd pull this off from the beginning, because I was hesitating for a very, very long time, just doing my Zoom kind of workshops and Zoom retreat sessions, mostly with people who are even here in this chat, Lars Jørgen and Geir from Norway, and some more people which just come to my retreats, and I kind of felt comfortable with them, and we did that in Zoom, but it was never the quality good enough of, neither my image or the audio or anything. So I thought I should be doing this on YouTube, and then let's see what happens. And then it took me like more than 6 months to do the setup. It was always like, oh, how about this technical stuff? I need to improve this. I need to get this camera. I need to learn this or that. Basically, it's just you need to start, man. That's it. So I got a good kick in by some friends online. I got to give a shout out to people from the Just Create More community, justcreatemore.com. It's usually people who are just starting off on YouTube or are struggling with the same syndrome as I was, like, oh, why should I be doing this? And it's not going to be good enough or whatever. It's like this imposter syndrome. But now I feel comfortable. Like 13th live stream is like what can possibly go wrong? Everything, but I don't know. It just feels great. And I see living people on the other side, which is really great. So thanks for coming, and thanks for the encouragement, Patrick. You're a true sport. That's great. All right, now, I got to tell you, this colleague of mine, John Miller, is coming to join me next week, next Monday. I've been following John since I started playing the guitar, I think. He's around 9 or 10 years older than I am. So I'm 62 now, so he's a bit older than I am. And I've been always a great admirer of his musicianship. Not only the technical part, because he's an amazing player, definitely, but everything, the whole package. John is a genuinely wonderful person and a fantastic musician that's just radiating kindness and willing to share. So I've met him on the Blues Week program in the UK in 2003, where I was teaching there, and he was also one of the instructors there. And that was also this kind of, oh God, am I going to be teaching on the same workshop as John Miller? Just amazing. But he's the very modest person, grateful musician for all the talent and hard work he put him down. So I'm really, really, really eager to present him to you guys and to maybe some new audiences later on, because I'd like him to tell you about his teaching methods, the way he does things and all that. So you can check him out at johnmillerguitar.com. And I can maybe just click on this one to show you that he's been releasing loads of instructional material from, just showing the licks and playing styles of many of the blues masters. So we're going to be talking a lot, John and I. And just as a little example of what John is doing, here's a new Caro blues from his album called The Old Hammer. I'll just play a couple of seconds of this just so you can hear it.
Don't your house look lonesome? Your biscuit roller done gone. the skid row done gone. Pack up all my cares and woes, here I go, swinging low. Bye, bye, blackbird. There's some
All right, I'm not going to play any more of this because basically this is good that I can announce that he's coming next week, because next week when he is here, we're not going to be listening to his records from Apple Tunes, Apple Music, or anywhere else. We're just going to be, he's going to play for us, show us some stuff, and I have some nice questions for him as well. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. We're going to be doing a sound check in a couple of days, so we're on the next Monday, next Blue Monday with John Miller, special guest star. All right, slide challenge. Playing the I Shall Not Be Moved. So you who haven't been to my previous slide challenges, which I did in the two last live streams, I'm usually starting by finding the melody. Okay, I'm in open D, so where do I find the melody? I shall not be moved, which is a bit lower than my pitch in E that I played in standard tuning. But basically I know, okay, it's a first string and it's the same as in the standard tuning. The melody starts on the 4th fret, right? So the next challenge here is, because if I want to play the chord here, it's possible kind of in a way, but it's a tricky, it's gimmicky, it's too much of a pressure. Okay, you have to play with a slide because you have this melody here and then the chord at the same time. But the same note here on the 2nd fret is on the 7th fret, on the 7th here. Okay, so you could do okay, so how can I improve this maybe? Because up here, when I come to the A chord, I shall not be moved. Here I'm kind of missing a little bit of basses. If I do it by fretting on the 7th fret, all 6th string. So this is a very fast jump to the, because I like to follow the melody. I could just play a, right here you lose the chord. So this is a very common question that I get from people when I teach. It's like, oh, can I just skip the, do I really skip the backup part just to play the melody on slide? Wouldn't it be like a, oh God, I've stopped playing the backup? It doesn't matter. The world of music, and let's say especially those old recordings from the 20s, 30s, 40s are full of people who just play whatever they needed. If they wanted to present the melody, they just play the melody. I'm kind of challenging myself to see, okay, is there a kind of common ground where we can meet, that I also play some melody and then grab a chord, or maybe just grab the chord a bit faster than I would do in like a, I don't know, regular setup or however. So maybe here. See, I'm cheating here by just hitting the bass of A note while I'm fooling around with the melody. I could play that melody here, but that note is also here. So I have two kind of possibilities to play it. But up here on the 7th fret, I have at least one little part where I can play the chord as well. So from the beginning. And this is a special thing because I just kind of came up with this, that I didn't play it down. I could have done. Because I know that the change of the chord when I come to the 4th. Okay, so I choose to do this. And after this note, I need to go to the 4th chord. And the reason why I ended up here is that I'm thinking, okay, can I do this lick that I already have in my one of the drawers in the back of my head? And it's this. So there's this. I'm out of tune a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so this is the lick that I go from, let's say, a D chord, and then I go to the A chord on the 7th fret, and then I go to the G, and I can use this in many different situations, but in this particular melody, it's like okay, I play the I shall not be moved. Here's the tricky part, because in the original melody, or when I play it in standard tuning, I go to this kind of minor. This would be the B minor. In the open D tuning, it's on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string and the 2nd fret of the 5th string. And you skip the big bass. This bass line that I did in standard tuning, I just can't do it here and keep the slide going. But what I could maybe, okay, let me try it. So. So if I play it a bit more rhythmically, then you get this small kind of chops of time that you can use to do this, which is a nice kind of part of a turnaround. So okay, and there's this other way of playing the melody. It's just by fretting, not playing some slide, just like this. So this, I haven't shown you this little, so if I go from the 4th chord, this could be played with a slide just as well, right? Or oh, all right, here we go. Getting it somewhere. Okay, I mean, you need to go. there's this kind of, you know, when you enter in the room and you just feel like, oh, I'm stumbling, but now I'm somewhere in the beginning of the room. So let's do it again. So this is a lick I have to give homage to Sam Mitchell because of this thing. So when I started playing with Sam Mitchell in mid-90s, he was just fooling around while he was warming up before the gig. Sometimes he just sat in the dressing room and just played whatever came to mind. And then he played some things that he never actually performed with. Maybe once or twice he did this, but this is a kind of, I think it's a Hawaiian influence thing. So you play this with a slide on the 7th fret, and then you pick, let's say, the 2nd and the 3rd string only, and then you fret on the 5th fret, and then slide again. This is creating some kind of a... It's possible to be done with the slide as well, just as if you just think of dampening and in between, because if you don't dampen, it's going to be... Then you have to be really precise on exactly where you play it. But if I do... And this goes in line with something that I always recommend people: explore your picking hand. It's so often that people just pick with their right hand either the whole chords, or they're not really aware of exactly which string and why they're picking. Sometimes they choose to pick like 3 strings, and then I think that we have so few strings and so few things that we can do that we really need to pay attention when playing the guitar, especially in these musical styles of like blues, old-timey music. It's like a... So I keep this first string until I kind of go through a couple of these chord changes first, like a... And then, okay, let's explore what's on the basses here. So I want to go to the... Nice. I actually use this in one of my instrumentals that I start with this. When I'm playing the intro and I only want these basses. Now this here is just the B minor, but I don't play the chord here on the 2nd fret. I grab it with the basses because I can glide with that chord. Then I release the tension with going back to D. Lots of stuff can be done on the basses only, and then you incorporate the rest of the strings. So in this particular lick, like I got it. I played first the 4th and the 5th string. So I switch between 5th and 4th, and then 4th and 3rd. And all other combinations of strings, how to play them. And then you get 3 strings left down there. So you can always land on a main chord, on this big fat, right, chord. But then the rest of the stuff you can really fool around with. So I shall not be moved. Maybe I should just tell you very briefly about the background of this song. This is a religious hymn from, I don't know, 18th, 19th century. And it was also sung within the civil rights movement in the 50s and the 60s. In the religious manner, it means that I am so firm in my faith in God that I'm not going to be moved no matter what happens. And with the civil rights movement, of course, it's like I got my beliefs, I'm fighting for human rights, and I'm not going to be moved. So I kind of love this song from both ways. It's a wonderful melody, wonderful harmonies, and you can play with I guess everybody knows it. Yeah, I Shall Not Be Moved, Down by the Riverside, maybe one or two more gospel songs, and you know, party's saved. So okay, let's finish off this part. So this would be like the rough first version of, okay, how would I play this in open D if I've never done it before? And what I usually do is I'd record this first idea, and maybe I'll just let it rest for a couple of days, and then I go back. Or if I have the time, I'd work on it for several hours, of course. But basically, I like to let both the licks and arrangements rest for a couple of days, and I get back to them and then see, okay, what could I do more here or less of something? Sometimes you need to scale down, not so much to put more licks. I'm more into this expression and the nice rhythm going and the groove. And then you can play the whole melody or just parts of it, and that's it. All right. Oh, I see a nice and familiar face. Hello, Albert. Nice to see you here. Albert and I are following David Hunt and his piano live streams on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. David is a fantastic piano player. He plays absolutely amazing. And I'm planning to have him as a guest as well. I think I've said this before, so yeah, we'll sort it out somehow. That's it. So slide challenge. There is another thing that I want to talk about in the slide challenge. Let me see now. I want to show you something. I'll be back. So, which slide? Which slide should I choose? I got loads of them. Some people tell me like, hey man, I bought kind of 3 slides on sale, and I don't know which one should I play for this, which one should I play for that. So this is going to be a brief kind of workshop about which slide to choose for what. And since I'm not sitting with you, I don't have your guitar with me, because it's very much about which guitar you're playing, how the guitar is set up, which string gauges you're using, and which tuning you're using. Because let's say if you have I can show you my, where are you, baby? Here. This is now totally out of tune because no, not totally, just slightly. But let's say this little guitar, it's tuned in open G, right? But you can tune it in open A, and then it would be up here. And if you tune the guitar in a higher pitch, open tuning, the strings are gonna get some more tension, both basses and all other strings, which means that you can use a thicker, heavier slide to achieve the same results. If I just have this in a standard tuning, or in this open G. Now I'd be careful, like, okay, for some stuff I could use glass slide, but for some stuff, maybe I should just do the metal, right? And let me give you an example of that. So, just going back. So this note on the 5th fret, on the 1st string, is played with a glass slide, which is quite heavy. It's one of those diamond bottlenecks from the UK, made by Ian McWee and his associates. So it's quite heavy, it's quite thick, and it's thick up here on the upper part of a slide that's actually touching the string. It's this part. And down here, it's a little bit thinner. And the reason for that is because here is where I attack the tone, so to say, and the string. So this slide is like absolutely amazing for playing single melodies, for playing solos, so to say. And of course, it sounds good on the chords as well. But instead of that, let me take my data slide, which is made by German brass, off German brass, sorry my English. So listen to this chord compared to. So I'm very close to the microphones, and I'm sure you can hear this difference, especially if you're listening through your headphones maybe, or if you have good loudspeakers. But basically, trust me on this one, metal is great for both melodies and chord playing. This is absolutely fantastic for melodies and some chord playing. If I would play, let's say if I would have just a standard guitar in a standard tuning, and I would need to play some chords, then I would definitely be using this metal slide. Here is also one of the diamond bottlenecks with thinner walls, both on the upper and the lower part. There's just a little conus here. I think it's 0.5 millimeter thicker on this end than down here. And let me play you same note. Okay. Remember that. See, this note is carried longer. It's got some special life to it because of the thickness and the heaviness of the slide. This is really great for, let's say, electric guitar player. If you watch my previous week's live stream when I demonstrated, let's say, how Muddy Waters played the intro to his slow blues in E in standard tuning, then you would hear this slide really shine because that's how it worked well. Muddy played with a metal slide, a very short one. I think I've got it here. And I've showed this in the last week's live stream. It's this little buster, right? And he had it down on his pinky, and he played those melodies. So there are loads of recordings or let's say videos where Muddy was playing that slide, and he was always here. But he never played chords with that. He just played single note runs, right? So, and the sound is as thin as the slide is. So you don't really get that mass. But let me show you another thing. You guys who love Derek Trucks, let's say, and I'm also one of the greatest fans, definitely. He's playing his electric guitar with this kind of slide. This is a medicine bottle slide. This is, industrially made. I don't know where I got this from. Somebody, I think people gave this to me somewhere. And the sound of this slide on this particular guitar, I don't know if it's going to be any difference because I play it with my pinky, and Derek Trucks plays it on this finger, right? So, okay, let's try. It's carrying it quite well, comparable to this glass thin. No, not really. I'm really not trying to pick harder. It's carrying it a little bit further. That's how it's done. Here's something in between. If you see this one and the big boy, and then we come to this one. This is something in between. And I think I've got this from Ian McWee just as a kind of prototype or something. And that's got this sound. Very, very smooth. This is, I mean, it sounds like it's polished, like, I don't know, fantastic. I think I kind of damaged this slide because I've dropped this on the floor. There is a crack up here, which is maybe not visible on the camera, but there is a crack. I dropped it on the floor. I gave it to people to test it out, and I'm not sure the surface is as smooth as it was. Yeah, there's some small friction, which means if I record something with this in the studio, then I'd just use this slide and maybe have a slightly lighter gauge of string. Because this is like oil. Just listen. Totally silent. Amazing. Now, look at this one. This is crazy. And I'm not sure. Let me check this. I just I've sent a message to Ian McWee and asked him if this was, I haven't seen his answer, I don't know. But I asked him, is this something that you made? Because if you look carefully, there is a metal slide inside of the glass slide, which means that the glass blower who did this had this metal slide first, and then he blew the glass all around it, and then they cut it out, and it's a very smooth surface. But let me play it. This is really heavy. This is like, this slide is by Daddy's slide, and it's exactly 268 grams. I remember that. And this is heavier. So let me see if this would give you more volume than just the metal glass. So let's try it. You get the smoothness of the glass, and then it's heavy as metal, and then so my take on this one is this is a bit better because I think there's also some sonic audio kind of barrier in between the glass here and the metal. And the vibrations are maybe not going, oh God, I'm getting scientific here. I don't really know. I just think I'm talking rubbish. This is great. I could play this, but not maybe 3-4 slide songs in a row because it's really heavy on the pinky, right? But it's great. It's really good. Okay, this was fun. So I think I've showed you all the slides except for this one. No, I got one more. This is metal in metal. I really don't know why they would do this, because this is a chrome slide within or inside of a brass slide. Let's try this one. Well, I think the tone kind of dies very soon. Ah, not really. It's cool, but you know, I feel some vibrations in my finger when I play it. It's like I don't know. And this here is also, I think this is by Ian McWee as well. So it's a slide in this shape, and oh, I know. Here's a reason why this carries the tone just as good in the chords as this metal slide. It's because, I mean, I really haven't played this slide for a long time, because it's not cut off here in the upper part, which means that you're getting the more mass to this slide by this little rounded part up here. So without it, maybe you would lose, I don't know, 20 grams, 30 grams, I don't know. This is quite thick. It's not as thick as the upper part of this one. Oh, we're getting really nerdy, but it's got some great mass on the chord playing. And check it with this one. Now you hear more of string buzzing and when I'm vibrating than of the note, of the tone itself. But here, it's great. I might even do some stuff with it, record or whatever. Great. All right. We are more than an hour in the stream. Let's see. Are the guitar slides and ring cut from the same thread? Albert, please clarify this. What do you mean a ring? Let's say these metal slides, they're made from scratch in these machines in the German factory where these people are making it. It's actually father and son. They have a workshop and a couple of machines, and it takes a long time to make these. The glass slides that are done in the UK, they're glass blown. So what they do is that they first blow the long tubes of these slides. Let's say 2 meters, 3 meters. I don't really know, but definitely more than 1 meter or 2 meters. And then when that kind of calms down, then they cut it into desirable lengths that people ordered. And usually, if I understood right, Ian brings in the glass blowers maybe once or twice, 3 times a week, and they just make these tubes. And then after that, orders come in, and sometimes they just do the blowing when the orders are piled up. Like, okay, I got 20 slides ordered, and maybe half of them are of this size and this thickness of the walls, and they know exactly how to blow them. So I don't really know how they managed to do this, because this slide that's a little bit thinner in the walls and this part is thicker here. So how do they blow it so that it's like, I don't know, it's mind-blowing. But just imagine, like 25, 30 years ago, we didn't have that. We had to find wine bottles of special kinds. I remember chasing a port wine bottle that Bob Brusman gave me the tip on, like, man, you got to get this one. It's fantastic. And I'm sure you can find it online somewhere. It's like, all right. And then I've tried with wine bottles in my old home country, Yugoslavia. I remember we bought a Tokaj wine from Hungary, and let's say those bottles are also okay to just cut off the top of it and make a slide. Actually, a friend of mine who is sometimes in the live stream is just sent me a picture of this kind of glass slide made out of Tokaj wine bottle. So people are still doing them and all that, but I really wholeheartedly recommend Ian McQueen and Diamond Bottlenecks. They are absolutely amazing. All right. All right. Thank you, Albert. I'll do some digging about that. Interesting. Great. Thanks for coming. Thank you, everybody, for coming. What was this, Albert? It's color matters. I like blue. Okay. Yeah, the blue is great, because I think they have another model that's called Cobalt slide, which is just a regular shape of the slide, and it's a cobalt glass, which has some specific dimension to the sound. It's fantastic. I really hope to be able to travel to the UK and meet Ian at the workshop and just go and get really nerdy with all kinds of slides that he got there. Maybe I'll do it. So this August, this summer, I'm going to be teaching at another Blues Week in the UK. That's going to be fun. And John Miller is also going to be there. So next week, please join us when John Miller is coming. JohnMillerGuitar.com. Just look him up and chase some of his recordings, old recordings, new recordings. He's amazing. He's got this fantastic CD with John Reichman, the mandolin player. Absolutely fantastic playing there. Good. So what do we got left? We got questions and answers. I answered some questions about the slides. That's great. Thank you, Lars-Johan. It's going to be great. So everybody, thanks so much for coming today. It was wonderful to see you. And here we got one latecomer, gentleman from Ohio. Hello, Milovan. Nice to see you like this. In the end, I'll play some really great tests of these several different slides made out of different materials. So you got to check that out on the replay. So thanks so much for coming, and I definitely hope I'll see you next week when John Miller is coming. Spread the news. If you like this live stream, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and this usual YouTube nag, but actually it does bring more people to the live streams as replays. So let's see. Yeah, definitely. You're going to love John. He's an amazing personality. Definitely. Great. Thanks so much for coming. I will see you next week. All right. Take care.
It was in spring, one sunny day, my sweetheart left me, Lord, she went away. Now she's gone, and I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world.
She called me up down in El Paso. She said, come back, Daddy, Lord, I need you so.
Now she's gone, and I don't worry,
'cause I'm
sitting on top of the world.
Don't like my peaches, don't you shake my tree. Get out of my orchard, let my peaches be. Now she's gone, I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. Was in spring, one sunny day, my sweetheart left me, now she went away.
Now she's gone, I don't worry,
but I'm
sitting on top of the world. Now she's gone, I don't worry,